Hey team, Joanna Hendershot here. Today we are going to be talking about all things marketing. So I'm so excited to be able to offer this system to you to get you started in the right direction to market yourself and your products effectively. So the first thing we are going to talk about today is picking your social media platform. Will you use Facebook? Or will you use Instagram? You may use both now, but you really need to ask yourself, which one is going to get me more leads for my purpose of growing my audience and in turn my business? And then you're going to use that one. So I want you to commit to creating quality content on that one platform for the next 90 days to see how it works for you. And don't worry, you're not married to it or anything, but 90 days. If you are a diehard Facebook user and don't want to give that up, by all means, don't use Facebook, and same with Instagram. There are a few things to consider though when picking your platform. So first, Facebook is known as a lifestyle relationship space that is personal to family and friends. And while Instagram is now known for people going to it to find products and brands and things that just kind of interest them. You, my friend, are your own brand. On Instagram, you're your own brand. So followings there might be based more on commonalities than they would be on Facebook. So that's just something to keep in mind as you choose which one, okay? So we're gonna go through a little checklist that I have. So the first thing to do, like I said, is to pick your platform. The next thing is we are going to talk about committing to consistency. I did say 90 days, right? We always talk about to our customers how we need to make sure that they are committed for 90 days at least, and we're gonna be doing the same. So we want to talk about how many times a week we're going to be making posts. That's reels, videos. This number doesn't really include stories per se, because those should kind of be continually updated. Now, it's recommended to post 3 to 4, maybe even 5 times a week, just depending on what you want to do. And so I want you to decide on that. So commit to how many times consistently for the next 90 days you are going to be posting. Is it 3? Is it 4? I have actually committed to 5 for the month of May and going forward in June. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is choosing your strategy. That is the next little check that we are going to be placing in our box. And when I say strategy, notice I did not say plan. A content strategy can be defined as clear and doable actions with intention to move you towards a specific goal. Whereas a content plan gives you kind of general directions of where you want to go. So just think, you might be saying, I need to get to Michigan. Well, you don't really know how you're going to getting to Michigan. You have a plan, you're going to get in the car, but you don't have it all mapped out. So that's what our strategy is going to do. It's going to help you map out what routes you're taking, if you're going to avoid the tolls, what have you. So for instance, a plan might be, say, hey, I'm going to post, I'm going to do a reel this week. I'm going to do Motivation Monday. I'm going to do Wellness Wednesday. I'm going to do Thankful Thursday, kind of like the post and pray that we do, right? And I know that we may have all done this at the start of our businesses. I know I did, right? But there are 2 types of strategies that we are now going to be choosing between. So once we know that we're having a strategy, we actually have that roadmap to where we want to go, we are going to decide between 2 different strategies, one being a niche approach and one being a pillar approach. Now, you may have heard the word niche is kind of like a buzzword right now, but a niche account will focus on one aspect of who you are. So for example, if you are in a season of empty nesting, that and everything involving empty nesting will be your niche. So think like recipes for 2, rekindling the spark after the kids leave, even perimenopause self-care, right? That's all part of empty nesting world. Now, if you go with a pillar approach, you're going to look at 3 to 5 like main aspects of your life that kind of give you a wide variety of content from which to choose. So for example, like if you're a sports mom, if you're part of a blended family, if like family recipes, maybe fitness, maybe those are the kinds of things that you want to kind of expand on to give you more of a wide variety. So I have decided to jump way out of my comfort zone, and I'm going to be a niche girl. So at least for the next 90 days, I am going to be a niche girl, and I'm excited about that. So now let's switch gears and let's go down to the breakdown of content that you will be creating in three main areas. Okay, so think about your business goals and what you are doing on social media. Are you just kind of mindlessly posting like, hey, this is my drink. Hey, this is what I'm doing. These are pretty flowers in my yard. Or are you creating content with a purpose, with a strategy? So now you are going to be thinking about growing your business, and that's growing your audience and your visibility. You're going to be building your brand, and you're also going to be selling your product. So you've got grow, building your brand, and you've got selling your product. So we want to use the 50-30-20 rule when we are talking about these kinds of posts. So 50% of your post should go to and focus on growing your following by posting like educational, informational, highly shareable content related to your niche or pillars. Memes, quotes, inspirations, things like that are usually highly shareable. That's 50%. 30% should be focusing on building your brand. So when I say brand, I mean you. You are the brand. It's what makes me me. It's what makes you you. It's your quirks, your personality, your values. This is relationship building. So think of it like that. You're building your brand. You're building the relationship with people. And remember, this is a point to really kind of highlight in this. People join people, not companies. Remember that. People join people, not companies. So this is what will make them stay on your page and want to continue to follow you. They can put up with that 20% that we're going to talk about of dedicated to selling your products. So we need to be careful though, like I said, about selling your products too much. You don't want to flood your pages with selling because that is the quickest way to get people to leave. Believe me, I've been marketed like that before and it's not fun. So we need to be careful about that. This is why it is the smallest area of our post. So 20%. So we should be showing people and not telling people solutions that we have to the problems that they have too. Showing them how what we have at Plexus makes us different than anything else out there on the market. Now these posts, the selling posts will also include promos, sales, product launches, anything like that that you consider a sale. You're asking for the sale, right? Now, the next thing we're going to be doing on our little checklist is we're going to be mapping our content. Now, we are not going to copy and paste someone else's because we want this to be personal to us. We are going to get an actual blank calendar, and I've got one right here. I actually got my May content calendar. You see, I've kind of gone off all over there, but you can print off a normal blank calendar. Fill in the dates. I usually make a calendar like this for my meal planning every month. And so you can get a free calendar online. Anyway, get a blank calendar and you're going to fill it in with the amount of posts that you will do. Now, remember, when you decided to post, like I decided to post 5 times a week, that is about 20 times a month. And according to the 50-30-20 rule, that's going to be 10 grow posts. It's going to be 6 building your brand post, and it's going to be 4 selling posts for the month. Now, of course, like I said, that does not include your stories. You want to continue those. But you're asking me, okay, now, how do I know what content to post? Like you just said, don't post flowers in your yard and don't post, you're sitting there sipping at your, drink on your island. This is where our exercises come in, and I have gotten 3 exercises that I found so useful in generating content ideas. The first one is the diamond niche exercise. Now, if you're going for a niche market, or even if you're going for pillars, that's fine, but I like this one because it focused on my niche. And again, out of my comfort zone, I took my niche and I filled in this diamond. So this diamond right here, that was the biggest part of my niche. And then I filled out the different facets around it. So the facets, again, what I've been described to is they make everything sparkle and shine. And so you really want to make sure that you fill in this niche diamond as the diamond exercise. There is another exercise. I don't have my paper for that, but it's called the 10 by 10. You go and you take your last 10 accounts that you follow. Now, they probably have to be larger accounts because you're going to be getting an idea of how many engagements you have on these posts or how many engagements they have on the post. You're going to research their 10 most highly visible or engaged with posts, and you know that you have 10 by 10, 100 post ideas that you know will work within your industry, your niche, and your pillars. The last exercise I want to talk about briefly is the Chat GPT. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it is a free app that you can download. I wasn't familiar, but I love it now. It's called the 13 by 4 formula. And what you do is you type in, for example, a question related to your pillar or your niche. What are 13 commonly asked questions about empty nesting? And you'll get a list of 13 different questions, and then you'll be able to give answers, 4 different answers for that question over the course of a year. So if you do 13 times 4, that is 52 different ideas that you'll have. So, like I said, finally, I have committed to posting 5 times a week and to doing this consistently for 90 days. To see how it grows my business. Now, what do you think your commitment will look like? Maybe it's going to be 3, maybe it'll be 4, but I'm so excited to be able to see what you do and what platform you pick. Now, I've walked you through this easy to follow marketing system that you can do, and above all else, you can teach your new VIPs and business builders to do as well. So I'm excited to have this step-by-step process finally for all of us to use and to follow to grow our own businesses and the business of those people on our team. So let's get out there and let's get started.